Previously on MCC.
Hello, again, welcome to another episode of MCC. My name is Timothy, it's David, that is Larnisha, and today's episode we're going to be talking about prosperity preaching, which is where the exploitation, I guess, tends to come from, because we get so focused on the materialistic that we don't even factor in that living how God wants you to would be a successful life, a fulfilled life, thriving life. Because we said earlier that there are some promises that God has made to us that if we follow Him and follow His word, what He wants us to do, that He will give to us. So that's where I think the overall problem lies. Our vision is skewed from what prosperity is to a Christian. But, because I'm always suspect of the big mega church preachers who get all of this money and use it for stuff, got 5, 6 cars, like basically like any old entertainer or successful rapper or businessman, athlete or something like that. It just gives me those vibes. So, but I was gonna ask, well, I don't forget what I was gonna ask, but basically I'm suspect of their intentions, especially when they talk about the prosperity preaching or whatever. There's a guy I saw on YouTube, does motivational speeches or whatnot. He's supposed to be, well, he is a preacher. I've seen him give a sermon or whatnot at his church or whatnot. But whenever he's doing his motivational speaking, he always talks about money and what you got to do to be successful. But it doesn't come up about God unless, except for his name, which is E.T., the hip hop preacher. Mm. But in his motivational speeches that I've seen, I've never seen him talk about God. Always how to get money, how to become the 1%, as he says. So I guess I'm suspect of anybody who does that type of thing while calling themselves a Christian or especially a preacher and doesn't mention God once.
He calls it motivational speech?
No, he gets paid to do motivational speech for different businesses, corporations, for individuals.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like, that sounds like he's doing his job. That's his job outside of
Yeah.
That sounds like he's just doing his job. Some preachers have a job outside of pastoring the church. It just sounds like he's just working. And he said he's doing it for businesses and that type of thing.
Yeah, which I guess I understand. But if you calling yourself E.T., the hip hop preacher, and that's what everybody knows you as, that's what they book you as, I feel like somewhere in there, you gotta talk about God at some point.
Not if they hired him to talk about money.
You can talk about how to motivate workers and also talk about God in there somewhere.
I didn't say you couldn't, but if they hired him to talk about money, I wouldn't say because he didn't mention God, that means something I wouldn't, that's a stretch to me. Because he didn't mention God at work or whenever he was working,